Star Telegram last week was on the employment, on the job numbers that the governor is quoting. If you look at the November 2009 job numbers for Texas, how many people were employed or working in Texas November of 2009, and you subtract from that the number of employees in January of 2007, you will see that we've added 142,000 people working in Texas in that period, from January of 07 to November of 09. But if you look farther down that U.S. Department of Labor statistics page, you will see the job growth by sector. And they've actually got pretty little charts. You don't even have to read the numbers. Construction jobs, do that. IT jobs, do that. You're wondering, well, where were those 142,000 new jobs? And when you get to the bottom of the graph, you see the government sector. 156,000 new jobs. Well, what does that mean? That means there are 14,000 fewer of us carrying the load of 156,000 more government employees. Y'all, everybody's shaking their head going, okay, I get that. I understand now why I feel that there's a recession. Governor said, what recession? He ain't feeling it in the government sector. They're fat and happy. They're growing, they're taxing, they're getting pay raises. One of the things I've not talked about in a while, and we're going to have to deal in Texas, everybody ready to understand the Social Security Trust Fund's bankrupt? Yeah. You got that? Do you know we have the same fund here in Texas? It's called a retirement plan for state government employees in Texas. Every city, every county, every school district, and every state employee, that government sector employee, has a retirement plan called a defined benefit plan. Those of us in the private sector have a defined contribution. We make fixed contributions to an investment account, and it grows, expands, or contracts depending on where we invest. Not so with the retirement plan for our government sector. That same Texas Public Policy Foundation in 1994 and 1997 said we got to change that. Just about every other state has done that. It is an incredible liability for the state of Texas. We need to meet the commitments that we've made to our existing employees, but we need to say after this date, it's defined contribution from here on out. It is not fair for citizens to carry the weight of a defined benefit plan for the government sector. We cannot afford it. We can't afford it. We don't have leadership in Austin.
That's right.
I could talk to you for hours and hours about the problems. I started preparing to be your governor in February when I decided to enter this race. As much of a snowball's chance as you thought I had, my commitment to those people who asked me to run was, if I'm going to ask you for a portion of your hard-earned resources, when you're already stressed and strapped, I'm going to work my butt off to earn every dime. I'm going to work my butt off to earn every dime in this campaign, and I'm going to work my butt off to earn every dime of the governor's salary for the next 4 years. I won't be perfect, but no individual will be. But I will work hard, and I will raise the bar for excellence. They asked the other night in the debate, what does the federal government do well? And I think that's a great question. What does your school district do well? What does your county do well? What does your city do well? What does our state do well? And I dare say our state doesn't do very much well. Every time you turn over a rock of a state agency, there is a dirty underbelly. Texas Youth Commission, employees of the great state of Texas, sexually abusing children for 18 months. Administration and management within the Texas Youth Commission well aware of those problems. I don't care how criminal you think those children were, they were children. Children. sexually abused with your money, paying your state employees. And we didn't lift a finger to fix it until the media broke the story and demanded an accounting. And then we got real busy. Just recently, in Corpus Christi, not far from my hometown, an employee of a Texas facility for mentally challenged individuals loses his cell phone. The local police find the phone and they find pictures that disturb, video that greatly disturbs them. It seems that employees in that facility were waking up the residents in the middle of the night and bringing them into the common area and causing them to fight like cock roosters. And when they began to interview those employees, they discovered that that fighting had been going on for a year. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been a director of nursing in a nursing home, several of them. When I go home tonight and Ms. Garcia looks fine and I come back tomorrow and she's got a bloody lip or a black eye, I'm asking what happened to you last night. There is no way that that could have happened for a year, that somebody shouldn't have been asking some questions, and it was through the fluke of a loss of a cell phone that we discovered that. People are in jail today, but for a year, if government's job is not to protect innocent life, what is it doing? You've got frail, mentally challenged people, and you've got state employees, people whose salary, retirement, health care, your hard-earned labor is paying for. And they're waking up mentally handicapped people and fighting them like dogs in the middle of the night. That ought to disgust every one of us. TxDOT holding you hostage on transportation. Got to have more transportation dollars. Got to have them, got to have them. Can't build roads, got to have them, got to have them. For 6 months, there's $1 billion sitting over there that they missed. $1 billion. We're ready to steal some more of your hard-earned money when we're sitting on a whole pool of it over there. We've got to realize that people don't, none of us take jobs to be slothful or lazy or abusive of our clients. Leadership starts at the top. The tone of the organization is set by the leader. That's right. You set the tone for excellence, and you will raise the standard of performance of everybody in the organization. You set the tone for corruption and abuse, and that is exactly what you're going to get. And that's what we've gotten out of Texas government in the last few years. They've gotten lazy, they've not held one another accountable, and we've not held them accountable. We have allowed ourselves to be sucked into the lie that we can't beat them. Well, I'm here to tell you we can, by golly. That's right. We can beat that political machine. We can restore freedom and prosperity in Texas. We can restore a sovereign state. We can show the nation what our founders understood to be the proper balance between a limited federal government and a sovereign state. And we will enjoy again the prosperity that they staked their lives and their sacred honor for. I appreciate you paying attention to this race. I hope you will tell your neighbors. I expect you to grill me hard. I expect to pass the test and lead Texas. Thank you.
Some questions. You've heard the challenge. Ask her some questions. I would like very much for you to satisfy your mind. I know some of you all came in here kind of double-minded. Some of you all came in here and said, well, I don't really understand this. I don't really understand that. I'm not sure whether Mr. Perry's right or Mr. Perry's wrong. I've always been sensitive to my grandmother, Senator Kay. Now's the time, because I want you to understand that we are on the verge of having to do something here to turn this state around.